and I'll get started. Thanks everyone for stopping by and welcome to today's webinar, 10 Techniques for Commercial Real Estate Marketing Lead Gen Success, hosted by MAPS coach Dale Donovan B. Before I kick it over to her, I have 3 quick announcements. Please note this meeting is being recorded. I'll share the link in the chat momentarily to the MAPS YouTube channel, where the recording will be available within 24 hours. Currently, everyone is on mute. However, we do value group participation. So we ask if you have any questions for her, please type them into the chat box. Excuse me. Following the meeting, if you have any questions about today's call or any other coaching programs, please feel free to email us at fasttrack, FASTTRACK @kw.com. That's all for me, Dale. The floor is yours.
Well, Graham, thank you. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. And I can say afternoon because even with the time differences, we shall have afternoon everywhere, right? So it's great to see everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm looking forward to chatting with you and for your participation as well. So if you have a question, absolutely type in the chat box. Or if there's something going on that you'd like further information on, just let me know and we'll go from there. We're going to be doing 10 techniques for commercial real estate marketing. It's a little different. Graham, if you'd start the slide presentation. Excellent. 10 techniques for commercial real estate marketing, lead gen success. This is going to be a little different than you've seen before. I'm not going to beat the drum on cold calling. So these are some ideas and things that I've had the opportunity to experience myself or from some of my colleagues and from some of the most successful brokers in the nation. So sharing some of their tips and secrets. Next slide, please. As Graham said, I'm Dale Donovan. I am a MAPS Mastery Coach. I am the Fast Track Commercial Mentorship Program Coach. I have been with KW Commercial for 13 years and in the industry for over 33. I've been a corporate puppy with Colliers and with NAI Global. I've had my own practice simultaneously with that, with DLD Commercial, a boutique company. I've primarily been focusing on land, transactions and development, but then morphed into doing tenant buyer representation across the nation. So I have done just about all of the aspects of commercial real estate. So I look forward to sharing some of my experiences with you. Next slide, please. As we move through this, targeting different approaches, as I said, I'm not going to be looking at this as cold calling. These are going to be some different kind of ideas. It's more of the who and the how of how you go about doing lead gen. These groups of people below are some of the key sources that I think would help you a lot as you're doing your lead gen. Business owners, walking the park through and looking at all of like retail, industrial parks, going through an office building, looking at all of the opportunities that are either on the street or in the building, and actually, looking at those as the opportunities for you to do your lead gen. Specific property owners, you can find those in many different ways. You target buildings, you target streets, and again, you can walk the park, as I call it, or you can do your research through lead gen. You can do your lead gen through CoStar and through other property searches that you have at your disposal. So we also have RealNext that we're working with now. So whether you're doing Crexi or whether you're going CoStar, and then we have our RealNext opportunity for I'll talk about a little bit later on. The property-related professionals, these are your attorneys, these are your general contractors, these are your developers, these are architects, CPAs, as I said, attorneys, accountants, all of those people that are involved, furniture dealers that are supplying products or services to our commercial real estate folks. So look at all of those as opportunities, and as you're working with them on a deal or transaction, or you're coming across them in your day-to-day activities or at some kind of networking event, always let them know that you're involved in commercial real estate and that you're going to be, offering them a reciprocity of possibly going into, getting the opportunity to meet your clients as well as you meeting theirs. So there's a lot of business to be had there. There are many different services that, that are part of commercial real estate. So don't forget those. I mean, we have cleaning services, we have property management. And the beat goes on. So make sure that you take advantage of those opportunities, those people that you know. Of course, we all know that there's the fund managers, we have the lenders, we have the investors, and all of those that have anything to do with the money side of the business or those that are doing the investing. So those are always opportunities. Direct mail, email, letters, contacts, blogs, newsletters, all of these touches will help you tap into these resources. Number 2. Before you start, get organized. Know what you're doing, know where you're going, and know who you're going after. This is really an important part of it, because otherwise it'll seem overwhelming. The organization part is probably the thing that I feel is one of the key components. It's called quality versus quantity. If you know where you're going with this, and you fish where the fish are. So it creates the opportunity to make a much better scenario for you and have much more success if you actually go for the quality rather than for the quantity. How do you qualify the people that you're connecting with? Are they people that you've done business with before? Are they successful in the community? And we'll go into a little bit more of these other aspects of how you have the attributes of the client. And select the properties that you want to work with. Depending on what your market is, it could be changing from market to market as far as geographic, and also market to market as far as what's going on in the economy in your area. So, some areas would be very successful in multifamily, some are very successful in industrial, some are very successful in retail. So you have to watch where your market is going. And sometimes you have to morph, you have to change, you have to be the chameleon and be able to adapt. And we are going into a shift. We don't know how much it's going to be yet. The residential market definitely is in it. So, they're in the midst of it. So we lag a little bit behind, but we've been in a little bit of a shift the last couple of months, but we haven't really felt it that strongly. So we're just anticipating that our lead gen is going to be one of the critical parts of our success, coming in the 2023. So that's why we're doing this. Don't commit to a person or property unless you know that there are things that you can help them with. Your time is worth good money, and there's no reason in the world why you should work without compensation. So, your time commitment has to result in the return on your investment as well. Again, fish where the fish are. Number 3, please, Graham. Okay, we can beat this drum to death, but this is it. The CRM, the database. RealNext, if you're not part of KW Commercial, you don't know about this resource, but RealNext is our CRM. It is our marketing tool. It is our database. It is our presentation and marketing opportunity, and it has a tremendous value for our members. So if you're not involved in RealNext yet, you need to be. With KW Commercial, we're going into our future with RealNext in a lot of different ways. You're going to hear more about this in the next few months, and particularly at Summit. Look at your database for prospects, for clients, for properties, for deals, transactions, presentations, and also RealNext works well for your reporting, your tracking, and your analyzing. So make sure that your CRM and your database can, have some intelligence behind it, and they can help you without you having to do all of the work. So having that intelligence and being able to have that automatic opportunity to be able to connect with your database and have the touches. The next one, please, Graham. Number 4, who is the perfect prospecting client? We mentioned this a little bit before. How do you pick them? Who's valuable? How do you identify? What are those attributes? Well, here are some that we've identified of things that we can attribute to being a successful prospect or client, hopefully. Location or value. So that is, the property or, where it's located and what its value is. The property ownership type, how is it owned? Who's it owned by? The personal wealth of the person. And you can identify that a lot of times by if they're a celebrity in the community or their businesses are being recognized by the local publications or national publications. So that is something that you can track as well. Watch them on Facebook, watch them on the social media so that you understand where these people are and what they're coming from. The business type for a company or corporation. Some businesses and some companies are doing better than others. So it's important to know that, to be aware of that, to be always, knowing your market and knowing what's going on. The company name or the enterprise name, does it have recognition? Does it have celebrity? Is it something that would be recognizable by others? Is it something that would be easy to sell that a landlord or an owner or a seller might recognize as someone that would be excellent to do business with? Have they been a previous contact of yours? Do you know how they do business? Have they been a previous client of yours, or are they known to you through personal relationships and other involvement they've had with you and possibly through your brokerage? Next one. Coming out of the cold. I love this. Coming out of the cold call. Sphere of influence and doing warm calling is something that I think is absolutely one of the keys to my success. And people say, well, I ran out of my sphere. I call them so many times and all that. So there's ways that you can handle that too. Looking at your sphere of influence, how many times you've touched them, but they may not be the client at the moment, or they may not be the prospect at the moment, but going to them and asking them if they know of someone that might be interested in your services or that could benefit from your services might be a way to touch them again and maybe come up with some opportunities for referrals from the people that you know and that you've done business with. A lot of times it'll take them off the hook if you ask them for, anyone that they may know that can give them, they could give you information on or contact information. And sometimes I'll say, well, you don't have to tell me right now. I said, I'll call you back on Thursday or Friday or Monday, whatever it is, and give them a couple of days. That way they know they have time to think about it. It also gives me a chance to call them and reach out to them again. So we'll talk about the averages of callbacks too in just a moment. But allocate the time to target your prospecting and then do the research and identifying the people who actually stand out at the highest chance of becoming. Be smart. Don't work. Working hard is important, but also having the right opportunities is important too. If you're going to be working hard, you might as well get some return on your investment. There's only so much time in your day, so you need to spend it wisely and setting up for yourself for success to get the best at bats. Okay, next one, 6. Marketing is lead gen. Lead gen is marketing. And we're going to get into this a little bit, but also too, that watch what the residential agents are doing. And if I have residential agents on here, I meant to ask how many we had, but commercial and residential agents. But watch what the residential agents do. They are awesome at this kind of connecting, and they do all of the touches. So watch what they do, and then we can convert it to commercial terminology, and we can commercialize it. So watch what they do and pay attention, because they're the experts at this. Lead gen, as I said, it's a marketing tactic. So it's one of the tactics that we can use along with brand awareness, doing a blog or a newsletter or a website. Make sure that you have an excellent website, Facebook and Instagram page optimization, doing a networking event. Not just attending them, but you can host a networking event yourself. They can either be a small private group that you put together, one each of architects or attorneys, space planners, whoever you feel would be a good group of people to put together a small group. And then you can have a private networking group, or you can do a larger opportunity and, have a happy hour or something like that. So Facebook and Instagram, I mentioned that, paid or unpaid advertising. There's lists of those that do paid advertising, and they actually rate them. Google is your friend. Go find out who those are for paid and unpaid advertising opportunities and utilize those. because sometimes the paid advertising is effective depending on what type of product it is. So but the unpaid advertising is always effective because if nothing else, it may not sell the property or get the property leased, but it does absolutely, enhance your brand awareness. Social media, again, the residential agents have this knocked. This is a real science. Pay attention to it and then make it into commercial. Make it work for you. Referrals, we have 195,000 agents in our company across the world. What an awesome opportunity for us to get referrals from our market centers and from our community of agents inside Keller Williams. And outside our market center too, the referral basis is phenomenal. I would say every one of my clients that is being successful right now, that are successful right now, and that have been successful in the past, are going to be in the future, are using the residential referrals as a tremendous part of their business. So it can range anywhere from 25 to 75 to 80% of your business, depending on how you screen and how you qualify and how you help in the residential referral business into commercial. Okay, next slide, number 7 and number 8, tracking and analyzing. Oh, this is, if you don't know what you're doing, or you don't know who you've contacted, and you don't know what your results are, and you're not able to analyze what's going on, then you have no way to really rate what you're doing. You can do it by, how many meetings have I gotten, or how many of these are turning into a hit, but it doesn't really give you the clearer picture of where you're going. An example of that is one of my clients was doing some cold calling in a particular market. I mean, it was cold calling, but targeted cold calling. They were going into industrial markets and looking at a lot of these different properties that were in a certain size, certain square footage. And he was calling and realized that he wasn't getting anywhere. He wasn't making any progress. He wasn't making the hits. He wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing. So he changed the time of the day that he was doing it and started making contact, because he realized the time of day that he was using was not effective for the market that he was in. So he changed the time and his ratio increased double what he was looking for to get as a success ratio. So always analyze what you're doing. And, if you keep doing the same thing, you keep getting the same results and it's not effective, there's an expression about that, right? So analyze it for your hits and for your meetings, and for how many listings you get or how many representation agreements you get. Then you identify, how many pendings came out of that, how many closings came out of that, how much repeat business are you getting from these opportunities? Because in our business, we do a lot of repeat business, right? Yes, we do. Tracking. You need to have a tracking sheet. It's one of the things that we provide for you in the commercial mentorship group is awesome tracking opportunities. And there's a lot of other documents too that we do in the commercial mentorship program. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. Let's go to number 9, please, Graham. Be the market expert. Okay. This is probably the most important thing that you can do for your lead gen. I don't care whether you're walking the park. I don't care whether you're making phone calls. I don't care whether you're at a networking event, or whether you're talking to residential agents, or you're talking to your family doctor who's looking for a new office location, or a commercial real estate investment for all the money that he's making as a surgeon. So, you need to pay attention to those very, very closely. The relevant historical information that you need to be aware of. What are the sales like? What are the comps? What leases are going on? What are the market rates? Who is in the market? Who is on the market? What are the economics? Are the economics impacting this business? Is there road development? Is there construction going on? Is there residential development that is going to, the housing, the rooftops impacting the commercial real estate? Who's moving in? Who's moving out? What kind of companies are coming in? What's the development climate like? Are they developing properties? Are they developing, residential? Are they developing multifamily? Are they developing industrial? Are they developing shopping center? Are more restaurants? What is it that's going on in that market? A lot of times too, one of the most important contacts you can have is the Economic Development Council. Whether it's the EDC for the county, or for the cities, or sometimes you'll have, a downtown development board, or you'll have a retail development board, or you'll have something that is going on in the area that is built on the economic development. They may not be the resource for deals or transactions for you, but they sure are the pathway to gaining market information and to being the expert in the market, knowing who's coming in, who's going out, where the business is. Because a lot of these people that you're going to be approaching want to know how they can build their business too. So if you can help them build their business by, identifying who their customer is and being able to provide some opportunities of knowing where the market is growing, then you're considered an expert as well. So it's not just the real estate that we need to be experts on. It's also, what can we do for our prospects as far as helping them develop their business? Ask them. Say that, when you're talking to them, who is your target client? Who is your best client? Who's your customer? Because I run into a lot of people as a commercial real estate broker. So if there's anybody that I can refer to your business, please let me know what that opportunity might be. And I'll be glad to refer some business to you as well. So, and in return, if you know of anyone that can use, my services as a commercial real estate provider, then of services, so let me know and I'll be glad to, to reach out to them as well. So let's do some business together and see how we can help each other grow our businesses. And also there's things that are going on in the market that we keep continuing to believe that certain assumptions that we've made is continuing to be the case and to be the facts, then we're no longer valid in the market. We've got to recognize what's going on and be very, very smart and make the prospect smart, make the client smart, so that they understand that you are the expert and that you're going to help them, grow their business and be more successful. Next one, please. 24% of commercial real estate brokers and agents follow up effectively. Only. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to prospects or clients and they said, I've reached out to a number of brokers and you're the only one that's called me back. Or thank you for returning the phone call when you said you were going to, because you're the only one that has. There's an opportunity there that we can shine, because there are a lot of other brokers that don't do this. They make the phone call or they'll do the contact and they don't follow up. So, and they'll say to me, if you called me back, you wouldn't be getting the deal, but they didn't call me back. So I'm presenting the opportunity to you. So take advantage of that. Be the one that follows up, be the one that calls back, and be the one that picks up your phone and answers it. Commercial real estate broker agent that gets the deal because you made the follow-up connect. Very, very critical. Well, that's some of the 10 that I've gone through with you. I'm going to take a breath here and a little sip of water and see if there's any questions or anything out there that you would like to ask me about what we've talked about so far. Well, maybe I've answered all the questions. Let's go to the next slide, please, Graham. Key tips to more efficient lead generation. These are just some of the ones, kind of a summary of what we've been. Prepare a spreadsheet and do your research and everything the night before, so that, yes, I'll address the tracking, Jacob. And the spreadsheet, so you can do the list before, so that you don't walk into the office in the morning or go wherever you're going to be doing your lead gen, and then have to do all that work before you make your calls. If you can target that time, protect your time, make it for your lead gen, whether you're making phone calls or whether you're networking or whether you're going to a breakfast or whether you're, going to the team meeting at the market center, whatever it is that you're doing as far as your lead gen is concerned, make that your time to be able to develop your business. And don't do your research then, don't do your follow-ups then. That's when you're actually doing your lead gen. So always know what your purpose is. Get the in-person meeting. That's your main purpose behind doing your lead gen, is to get the meeting in person. You're never going to do a transaction or get a deal done on the phone. You have to get the meeting. That is the only reason that you're making the phone call, that you're making the contact, that you're talking to someone, is the opportunity to get in front of them and to get that one-on-one and get that in-person meeting. Never forget that's what you're selling on the phone call or in the meeting or in the connection. Provide something of value to them. It has to be, you can't walk in and say, well, I want to do business with you, or this is who I am. They really don't care who you are. They want to know that you have experience and that you know the market. But it's more important for them to provide something of value to them about their business. The Economic Development Council, as I was saying before, this is something I talk a lot about. They'll provide you with marketing materials and information of what's going on in that area for a particular kind of business, also the other area. And so make sure that you provide something of value to them. You walk in with something that has value, not just information about you, but something that'd be valuable to them. What's sold in the area, what's the comp that's going on, what are the other businesses like theirs doing in the area, what does the Economic Development Council see that's happening in this particular kind of business sector. And yes, I'm going to get to some of the questions here in just a minute. Tracking and analyzing, be effective, work smarter. Figure out what you're doing on the tracking aspect of it. Is it working? Is it not working? Is this time of day working? Is this sector of the market working for you? Is the specialty that you're working in, is it the lead gen being effective for you? Work smarter. You can work hard, but you just have to work smart too. And then follow up. Let me take a look at some of these questions that we have here in the chat box. I'll go back up to the top here. Speak more about the tracking. Yeah, tracking is probably, if you don't know what you've done, then you have no way to be able to figure out what you're going to be doing in the future, or what's been successful for you or what hasn't. So the tracking is really important, and having a tracking sheet that can help you do all of that is a factor as well. We share one of those in a commercial mentorship program too. Let's see, maps tracking here. Let's see something above that. Okay, YouTube landing page. Okay. Business owners most likely have a realtor from previous purchase sell. Sometimes they do, but not always. They'll tell you if they have. And sometimes you can, if you talk to them and you say, I'm offering these services, and they'll say, well, I'm already working with the broker. Oh, that's great. When was the last time that you purchased or sold a property? Because if they're not currently with one, or they're not currently, involved with a listing agreement or something along that line, then, the show can go on. So you can't insert yourself into a listing situation unless you bring in the buyer. So if they have something that's on the market for sale, perhaps, even if they have another broker that's working with them, you can say, well, what are they working with, or what are you selling, or what are you purchasing? Because I may have opportunities also. So you can bring them business that way. Let's see what some of the others are here. So I have more success calling from residential from 4 to 6. Is there a better time of day to call, dial commercial? Yeah, 4 to 6 probably isn't the best time to work with commercial properties. Usually, it just depends on the kind of product and property type that you're working with, but generally during business hours are probably the key time to reach out to your prospects. And mornings are probably good, mid-afternoons maybe are good. Lunchtimes, they're in business, so they're going to be out to lunch and doing those types of things, unless you're going to be networking at a luncheon or something along that line. One of the organizations that you're involved with has luncheons, and that makes a perfect scenario. Or 4 to 6 p.m. would be a good time to networking, with happy hours. Commercial real estate people love happy hours. And they bring their clients, and their clients love them too. So yeah, there are certain times that you can call that it's better than others. Again, that's where the tracking comes in. That's important. Do you need a commercial niche starting out? You can't pick your niche to start out with. There's ways to do it. Again, we can kind of clarify this a little bit. If we go into the commercial mentorship program, we do that. And we kind of help you with the selection of, what your specialty is and how you go about choosing it and picking it. But in the beginning, probably buy it tenor representation is probably the best way to start in the industry, because then it kind of gives you a flavor for a little bit of everything, and you'll figure out pretty quickly what you like, what you don't like, and what you're best at. Also, depending on your background, if somebody comes from a retail background, then a retail business might be very effective for them. They're the other side. I've had people that came from the medical industry. They had been in pharmaceuticals, or they had been in some other form of sales or some aspect insurance or something like that. And so that was the niche that they picked. They picked the, medical office or healthcare field. So a lot of times it has to do with your background. I have a client of mine that was a chef, very famous chef, and he decided that wasn't his niche anymore. And he went into commercial real estate and started doing restaurants and designing restaurants and working with the owners. So, he came out very effectively in that business. So sometimes it's what the market is telling you, and sometimes it's what your background and experience is telling you where the opportunities are. So, again, the market and the market. Hope that helps. Well, you're welcome. And the commercial mentorship program, go to the next slide, please, if you would, Graham. Commercial mentorship program I was talking about starts tomorrow, November 2nd. It is a 6-month program. It's made for just about any agent out there, but it goes from the Nucleus program. If you haven't taken Nucleus, we still do review a lot of the stuff. And there are people that have taken Nucleus and they're reviewing it and going back through the replays, and now they're doing simultaneous, they're taking the mentorship program. There's also very successful commercial real estate brokers that are on this in this program, because they're looking to be able to help their agents, grow their practice and grow their business. And also, I've taken Nucleus and taking some of the other training classes, and I learn every day. I've been in the industry for 33 years, and I still learn something new every day. So we're always on a learning curve in this industry. So what to expect if you were in the program. You expand your business, you grow your business. We take you and help you track your business and help you, find the direction that you need to go. We talk more about, the transaction itself, about the deals, the documents, actually closing of the transaction. We provide checklists. The day in the life of a commercial real estate agent, what does that look like? And sometimes I thought, well, that's kind of basic, but you know what? It changes depending on what the market is and what we have to be doing to build our businesses and continue building our success ratio. The number of conversations to ensure you know how to hold and build relationships and to win business quickly. We talk about discussions, not scripts. We do discussions, and we prospecting letters. We also have additional masterminds in the group. And then we have one of the things that everybody really enjoys in the mentorship program is cross collaboration with everybody that's on the call. So we have about probably about a 55-minute call. About 35 minutes of it is, 35 to 40 minutes of it is education and training. And then we also insert a lot of questions and participation, either through the dialogue and through the educational component, or at the end when we have our Q&A. So, and a lot of people say that that's really great. It's great to know you're not the only one out there that's having the same issues, or that there's other people out there that have solved the same problem that you have, or that have given you some success tips that, actually feed on the street with your colleagues. So it's always great to have that opportunity. Let's go to the next slide, please. Graham. Fear or faith, you choose. How many times have we heard that? And lead gen can be fearful, but I've always found it as an opportunity, because to be able to find the opportunities to do business. Yeah, you're going to get some no's. You're going to get some people that hang up or walk away or that are not interested. But every time you get a no, the opportunity for you to get the yeses gets closer. And even if you have a no right then, maybe it's a not now. So that's a situation that you can look at as well. So fear or faith, you choose. That's one of our bold laws. Next slide, please, Graham. Well, I want to thank you. We've got a couple minutes left. So if there's any other questions, you can either throw them into the chat box or just open up your mic and let me know if you have a question. Well, I hope that this has been enjoyable and that it has informed you and that you have had the opportunity to gain a little bit more information of how you can do some lead gen more successfully. And I'm hoping that you have the opportunity to sign up for our, I think you can go to the next slide, please, Graham. And if you would like to see the next slide, Graham, please. Okay, if you have a moment, I'm going to show you, see if I can click on it. Can we open that link there and just show that, Graham? If not.
Oh, sure. Yeah, there was not a 16th slide, but I'm happy to, yeah.
Okay, so if you want, that'd be great. And just play the little video there for us, please. This is on the mentorship program. Oh, there's no sound. That was what it is. Okay. Can you drop the, there's no sound to it. So would you drop the link into the chat box for everybody if they want to register? And if they want to see the video presentation is about 3 minutes. And it gives you just an overview of what we talked about with the mentorship program here. So I hope everybody has enjoyed this. And again, we'll have the video replay available for you within about a day or so, I believe you said. And so how soon would you recommend getting the CCIM certification? I was told this was essential. It depends on the market that you're in. Some of the markets, it's absolutely critical that you have the CCIM designation, or at least that you're going to be your delegate and that you're going for it. And other markets, it's not as critical. So it depends on, if someone has told you that it's an important aspect of it, then I would look into it and talk to the CCIM chapter that's there. So that would be something I would check into. Sometimes people say that it's required and it's not really, but I know that it definitely adds credibility, and that there's an intro to CCIM, which is a half a day program that is less expensive than the 101 to 104. And it kind of gives you an overview, and it's called the Intro to CCIM, I believe it is. And so if you can get that and take that opportunity, it would be great, because then you can get an idea of what's coming up and what you can be doing for furthering your education. You're welcome. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Oh, for those of you that are on the call today, if you sign up for the mentorship program, you get a 15% discount off on the registration. So when you sign up, put into the code box WEB15, and you'll receive the 15% registration, 15 off the registration is $199 a month for 6 months. How soon if you see there's a program that's close by, I would definitely sign up for the 101. You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, and the mentorship program launches tomorrow. So I hope that you'll get the opportunity to join us. And again, thank you for being on here today. Good luck with your lead gen. Any way that I can help you, please reach out. You can reach me at ddonovan@kwcommercial.com. So I look forward to hearing from you. Graham, thank you so much for your help on the the PowerPoint presentation today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for the help. Thanks,
You're
everybody.
welcome. Thank you.